Here's an example of how heart-centered awareness can extend your senses, accentuate flow, and really tap you into this field of consciousness. There's this paddock with agisted horses. But all the horses get on, they know what they've signed up for. And amongst this mix of horses is, or was, a horse called Monty. He'd been through life, he knows people, he has served humanity, and when he got too old to be ridden, I suppose, a group of people, about 12 people, clubbed together and adopted him. And then every day, they'd have this rota where every day, once a day, one of the people would go and visit him. Occasionally, when there was flooding and the road closed, this is a horse that had very old, hardly any teeth, lived from feed to feed because he couldn't eat grass. So he was fine, but if you missed a feed, he really was in strife. So I started just, as you do down these sort of roads in the country a little bit, you just help out. So I got a relationship with him, heart-to-heart connection, boom, heart-to-heart connection. And every time I drove past, I felt my heart connect with his. And it was really palpable, to tell you the truth. He had very strong resonance, this pony, this horse. Here's the heart space awareness for you. So I'd already got a heart connection. We drove past one day, dark, going off somewhere, and just as we even approached the corner on the road where Monty was, my heart felt him calling. I can only say that. I felt a calling. And I looked, and in the darkness, I saw this white horse walking up and down the hedge line. Now, you could have driven past and not seen it, right down the bottom of the paddock, by the way, miles away. But I was drawn to turn my head, and I saw him pacing up and down. And now I know that that is not actually behaviour that Monty normally does, right? I went down to him, and he was sweating in this rug. He really was calling for help. He was very confused, wavering on his feet, very confused, and really panicking. If you've ever seen a horse, they go wild in the eyes. Now, I didn't know if he had colic. I knew he was in great pain, and so I dropped into my heart, I spread love towards him, and I calmed him down. So what happens when you have you have a calm demeanour, as you all know, that spreads to those around, and you tend to emulate the calmness. The calmness is a trump card over chaos. So if everyone in this room was hysterical and a monk walked in, we would emulate the stillness of that monk. It just is the trump card. And that's what you do with animals. So that's what I did with Monty. I led him very gently up the paddock, took his rug off, calmed him down, and I felt and heard him in that moment. So in that space is animal communication. I could tell he was in strife, and I knew we had to call the vet. Now, it turned out that the vet did have to put him down. I held him, the space for him, and I told him what was going on. He trusted me because he knew that the vet wasn't going to even do anything until I explained what was going to happen. And it turned out that he had a stroke. But in that fog, clarity prevailed, because my heart, we overrode this, and we worked from heart space to heart space. And it was the most beautiful transition I have ever come across. He looked me, if I cry, it's because it's through love. He lay down, his heart, the gratitude was so immense. And even the vet was crying. It was such a gracious event. And when he left, because I was heart connected still, I saw his spirit, and his spirit said thank you. And I just saw this slow motion biology decaying and dying as it was being put down. But he had left his body, and I thought I only felt and perceived that because I was in my heart. If I was up here panicking about the horse, I would have lost all that grace, had not seen that gracious connection with him. And so that's what we have. We have a connection to so much. Everything's palpable because we're living within a vibration of where perception is held. So if we live here in our hearts, we have much more intuition. Intuition isn't this, it's this. It's a feeling, it's a knowing, it's a release of intelligence, it's a congruence of intelligence.